Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're in. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day here on the Sunshine Coast, Canada today. And I thought today my name is Andrea Fulkerson. I'm an Iyengar yoga teacher, student, the love of being a student, and seeker, and trying to understand the physical realm. So I welcome you to this space. And sometimes my kitty comes and joins me for yoga. So his name's Pomi, which means blessing. So today I thought we would work a little bit on the feet. And I'd like you to have a belt. So you can use a belt, you can use a long sock, excuse me, you can use a bath, like a robe, belt, anything that you can find that will work. And then I have a chair and a bolster for our practice. Probably be about 15 minutes. So let's warm up. So let's come into Tadasana. Tadasana is mountain pose. And in this Tadasana, you won't be able to see my face, but that's okay. You're going to work on the feet. So you can separate your feet hip distance apart if you're on your period, if you're having heat, and if your balance is an issue. And we're just going to stand on one foot and kind of move onto the outer edge of the foot, and then kind of slide to the inner edge, big toe mound. So I'm going to come and show you. This is the inner edge, big toe mound, and here is the outer edge of the foot. So when you are on the outer edge of the foot, stand on your left leg and just bring your foot forward and go onto the outer edge of the foot. Really feel the outer edge of the foot, and then come and press down first with that kind of big mound, and then push your big toe mound down as if your outer edge of your foot, baby toe, is going to pop up, and then go back to the outer edge of the foot, lifting through the inner arch, lifting through the big toe mound, inner heel, and then like a wave rocking towards the toe. Now let's go to the other foot and do the other foot. So starting with the outer edge of the foot, press the outer edge of the foot. If you have knee problems, really stand on this back foot. Don't put so much, if there's any knee instability, put more weight onto the back foot as you roll onto the outer edge of the foot, roll onto the inner edge of the foot, big toe mound that I showed, inner heel, and then again like a wave, pressing down through the outer edge of the foot. And then again, inner edge of the foot, big toe mound. This time we'll go back to the first side. I'm going to come a little bit closer so you can see my feet. I'll come off the mat a little bit. And this time, when you come onto your foot, you can even bend forward a little bit like me, come onto the outer edge. You see how the ankle has to rotate out. This time, keep the outer edge of the foot pressing as you now take the inner edge of the foot and press down with your big toe mound and equalize, feeling the strength of the ankle here as the big toe or the big toe mound presses, outer edge of the baby toe presses, and then try to balance the center of the heel here. Here's the center of the heel, press the center of the heel. So let's start again with that same foot, coming to the outer edge of the foot, and then pressing through like a wave, like you're pressing the ball of the foot and the inner edge of the heel, keeping this outer edge of the foot solid like a rock. One of the names for asana is seat. Seat that outer edge of the foot as you press the big toe mound. Baby toe mound, pressing inner heel, outer heel. Get the stability of the ankle. You can feel how stable that ankle, that foot is. And now bring your knee over top. So you're still standing on the back leg. Bring your knee over top of your ankle bone and feel the stability, how the stability of the foot gets more solid as you bring your knee over top of the ankle bone. Press down through the center of the heel, outer edge of the foot, inner edge of the foot. Feel how your feet feel more like a duck. Buttocks lifting and moving away from the spine here. So I'm going to come to the side so you can see if there's any pinching in the buttocks. You're going to start to move the buttocks away from the spine. Okay, so let's go to the second foot and do that same action where the outer edge of the foot is pressing and keeping that outer edge of the foot nice and solid on the mat. Now using the baby toe as an anchor, press the big toe mound down as you come onto the center of the heel. Center of the heel, big toe, as if it was a duck foot. Center of the heel, big toe, baby toe pressing as a wave. Do that one more time. Outer edge of the foot. Now wave the big toe away from the little toe as you anchor both of them down, spreading through the ball of the foot, coming onto the center of the heel. Now bring the knee forward so that it's probably back a little bit. Bring the knee forward so that it's over top of the ankle. And now press down to spread the foot. Move the foot, make it as big as possible. If there's any crinkling underneath the skin, iron that out and press down through the feet so that you get that firm action of the feet. And then stand up, and let's stand in Tadasana. So feet apart. If you're on your period, if you've got heat, make your feet go apart. I'm going to back up so you can see me a little bit. And I'm going to keep my feet hip distance apart. And then that imprint that you just made with your feet, see, starting from the outer foot, outer baby toe. Now move the big toe. This, sometimes it's almost like magic. You have to coerce your toes to work for you here. Moving your heels a little bit away from each other so that the outer edges of the feet are in line with the outer edges of the mat. So get that firm foundation of the feet as you stand in Tadasana. Now, looking at your feet, spread the feet, pressing through the ball of the foot, through the center of the heel. Lift up through the thighs, keeping the knees over top of the ankles. So you may have to move your buttocks back. You might have to bring your buttocks forward. But when you do put your knees over top of the ankles, lift the thighs up and stand in Tadasana. Elbows straight, shoulders down, smooth breath. Feeling how the earth is pulling the whole foot towards the mat, as if there's an energy that's pulling you towards the mat. Standing as solid as a mountain. Solid, feet pressing, as if you're one thing, as if those feet are being glued, every aspect of the foot, big toe mound, outer baby foot, ball of the foot, center of the heel. Press down as you lift through the thighs. Allow the energy to lift up through the whole leg line, to come up into the chest. I always think of Iron Man and lift you off the ground, but your feet are keeping you solid. And then release, and let's use your chair. Taking the chair and putting your bolster just behind the chair for a minute. If you don't have a bolster, don't worry about it. Get your, whatever you're going to use for your belt. And sitting in the chair, buttocks sort of at the edge of the chair. So there's a soft spot between the big buttocks muscle and the hamstring muscles, behind the leg muscles. And then press down and bend your knee and put your your belt on your heels. So sitting tall, arms straight. So your arms are, you're not going to be sitting like this on the chair. So this is a power pose, let's call it, with the bottom buttocks. So the buttocks is firm on the chair as you lift up. So using the chair and the heels to lift through the crown of the head. Become straight with the spine. And find the tailbone and move the tailbone. And it's not actually that you're moving the tailbone, but coming forward onto the sitting bones. So the tailbone, if you had one like a kangaroo, would move out the back. Lift up through the chest, sides of the waist, and then bring your attention to the inner edge of the heel. So I'm going to come and just show you again where the inner edge of the heel is. So here's the inner edge of the heel. I want you to press the inner edge of the heel. So use that as a guide to make it longer and longer and touch the belt. So this is an unseen action. You're not going to be able to see me doing it, but I'm going to make the inner leg longer and move that inner edge of the heel further and further towards the belt. So making one, isn't it funny how one inner edge of the heel, there's more work to be done there. Lengthen through the inner thighs as you lift up through the center of the spine, head, arms straight, keeping your mind's eye on the length and pressure of the inner heel. It's easy to feel the belt on the outer heel, but feel the belt on the inner heel. Move the inner heel closer and closer towards that area that's like a no man's land, especially for one foot, I find. And then release, and let's put the belt bending the knees right around and I'm going to come and show you right around the ball of the foot. So just under the ball of the foot, right there. So, and then press through the ball of the foot and move the big toe mound. So you're going to sit in Dandasana, same pose, and just move the big toe mound towards the belt here, okay? Same pose. And you see how when I did that, my foot became more, like we've got the equinox here, the foot became more equal. There was more equal distribution between the sides, the outer edge of the foot and the big toe mound. Now, have a look at your feet. It's a really good vantage point to look at your feet. And notice how, perhaps as mine, one foot, toes, the toes don't want to separate. Separate the toes and now press and lengthen through the inner big toe mound as you separate the feet. Keeping all of the same actions in Dandasana with the spine straight, the shoulders moving down and back, arms straight, crown of the head long towards the sky, high towards the sky, and then using the belt as a guide for those big toe mounds. And the belt isn't on the heel, but imagine that you can also feel a second belt, let's say, on the inner heel press. Lengthen through the inner thighs towards the inner leg area and make that area get longer and longer towards the big toe mound. The legs are solid. Inhale, exhale, release. And now we're going to stand and turn around and do a downward facing dog on the chair. So this dog, you're going to be on your legs. So if the chair, if you're a little bit unstable with your hands, if you push forward with your hands, you're going to put the chair at the wall. But if not, if you can press down with your hands, stand in sort of a tabletop position, and now walk back Walk back, keeping the feet solid, keeping that width of the bottom of the feet. So you may want to go back to the outer edge of the feet and then lengthen through the ball of the foot, big toe mound, to get the seat of the pose, the feet solid, as you lengthen, pressing down through the hands, palms, separate your fingers as you go back into downward facing dog. Don't let the head drop. Keep the head lifted as the shoulder blades move down, move back towards the buttocks. So even though the hands are pressing, the whole line of the side waist moves in the direction of the feet. Stand on the legs. Bring stability to the bottom half of the pose. Allow the inhale and exhale to be smooth as you lift up the upper arms, shoulder blades, shoulders strong because of the press of the hands, excuse me. The abdomen becomes soft as you roll the thighs in. So try that and feel how as you roll the thighs in, there's more support on the inner foot line. And then walk forward, taking your left foot and putting it on a 45-degree angle. Bring your right foot underneath the chair. So we're moving into Parsvottanasana. Concave back, so lengthen. But this time I want you to bend your knee a little bit and focus on the spreading of the foot. So spread the foot, baby toe, big toe, center of the heel. And now with the foot feeling the pressure as you bend the front knee, now move the buttocks. So keep that spreading of the foot line as you move the buttocks back, the thigh bone back, but don't lose the whole ironed foot on the floor. Don't lose that stability of the ankle as you move the buttocks back. So I'm going to do it so you can see clearly what I'm talking about. The buttocks moves back as my foot spreads unseen, spreading of the foot. Keeping the arms strong, shoulder blades back. There's a strong lift of the thigh as the baby toe gets heavier and heavier and heavier. Inner heel glues to the floor. And then spine long through the crown of the head. Take a couple of long, deep breaths, making the breath smooth on the inhale, exhale, as you lift and move the thigh bone towards the back wall. Feet solid. Sometimes I even use the chair to help press the body back to get more weight on the back leg. And then bend the knee and have a look and see, what's the distance between the two legs? You can't see the front leg so easily, but measure the distance and then bend that front leg as you come kind of into a concave back where the shoulders are helping to lift you up. Spread the ball of the foot, left side, front leg, starting on the outer edge of the foot and then spreading through the big toe, inner heel as I showed, getting that duck foot smooth and spread and planted on the earth. And then when that happens, after you get that, the seat of the foot on the ground, start to move the thigh bone deeper and deeper into the buttocks. So lift up through the thighs Lift up through the front thigh, as if the thigh was moving back, 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 deeper and deeper into the hip socket. And your knee will likely become straighter and straighter and straighter. You can look down. Ankle becomes more and more solid as the big toe, inner heel engages the floor. Again, lengthen through the spine, crown of the head long. As the thigh bone on the front leg moves back. Keep the breath soft. Keep the breath from getting away on you. If it's too intense, back up. Don't go past your edge. Real changes happen when you're being courageous, but not reckless. And then when you feel like you've done both sides, I always end my pose like this, pushing back a little bit more with my hands to get the weight onto the back leg as I lift even further the thigh past the buttocks into space. It's hypothetical. Sometimes it feels like there's a lot of unwinding of the muscle fibers. Feel that unwinding of the muscle fibers as you stay in that courageous but not reckless space. And then go back into downward facing dog. Plant both the front of the foot and the heel as you reach through the hands down into the ground, through the chair, buttocks lifting, thighs lifting towards the buttocks, feet solid. And as you roll the thighs in, feel the spaciousness that comes in the abdomen. It's almost, when that happens, there's almost a feeling of your body wants to inhale naturally. Let that happen. And then come forward, walk forward. This is where you may need the bolster. So if you need the bolster, I want your legs to be, your knees to be straight. So you can be mat distance apart. So about mat distance apart, or a little bit closer together, depending on the flexibility of the back of the legs. And you're just going to rest on the bolster. If your hamstrings are long and you find that there's no action on the back of the legs, then you can come down, but don't come down through the bending of the top of the back. So the back becomes long and straight as you come down. Legs, knees straight. Because the thighs are lifting as the feet, my feet are on the outer edges of the mat. Heels, outer foot strong, pressing down on the mat as the big toes start to engage. So start first with the outer edges of the feet and then engage the baby toe, or the baby toe, big toe, like a wave, inhaling, moving the weight distribution towards the inner heel so the feet become more and more solid as you lift up. And then rest your head. So hopefully you've been resting your head this whole time as you focus on the stability of the feet. Rolling the thighs in to access the abdomen. Feel that natural wave of inhalation that can come when the abdomen becomes soft and spread. This becomes easier as the inner feet know what to do. Inner thighs spread, affects the abdomen. The inhale becomes very easy here. Change the crossing of your hands if you've been on your hand, if your hands have been crossed. Notice how the big toe pressure, inner heel pressure, affects the inner groin softness. Keep the feet solid, legs holding and supporting you as the body rests, the mind rests. The eyes become soft. Even though the legs are solid, the head, shoulders, body, upper body can be in Shavasana. Here's your Shavasana. Stay with your mind in a Shavasana state as the legs hold you, like the holding of a friend. When you need a friend to lean on, allow the legs to become that friend as the mind, upper body relaxes and receives the support. And when you're ready, use from the hip sockets, pressing deep within towards the heels into the ground. You can either bend your knees to stand up or stand up through the charge of the hips deep through the heels to stand up, turn towards the screen, bring your palms together, stand in Tadasana, close your eyes, keeping the legs solid, feet spread, breath soft and pliable as you roll the thighs in towards the back wall, feet separated. And see now in this orientation that you can lean on the legs, the feet. Even though the thighs are still continuing to lift, there's a relaxation in the shoulders, spreading of the upper collarbone region, moving the shoulders away from the ears and away from the neck. As your palms gently touch each other, eyes soft and resting, being supported by the deep friendship of the legs. Thank you for joining me today. You can open your eyes in exploring the feet and how the earth can support us on our journey of yoga. Please join me again another day in this amazing journey within. Namaste.